Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hexagon Challenge here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and today we are finally into the CONCACAF Champions League, the first round, and we're taking on lowly fancied Nashville from the MLS over 2 legs. So if you're looking forward to that, remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and enjoy what you see here, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yes, finally, after about a year here at Monterrey, we are going to play our first CONCACAF Champions League game against Nashville. 2 legs, that's what you got to look forward to today. But we have played a few games to catch you guys up on since yesterday's episode. First, if you did miss that one, a transfer window roundup and a game against Deportivo Toluca in Liga MX. I will leave a link to it in the top right corner for you. It wasn't a very good game, to be honest. It was a 0-0 draw. Very dull game, but not a terrible result against the team who pushed us quite close in the first phase semi-finals. Off the back of that, we have played 4 more Liga MX second phase games, albeit if we win the Champions League, we won't actually get to the playoffs because we would have completed the challenge by then. So not sure how important these games are going to be. Obviously, we would like to win it if we are still at the club, but if we win the Champions League, Liga MX actually isn't too important for us. But first off, we look to bounce back with a game against Cruz Azul, a final rematch that was, of course, and we got the job done narrowly against these guys yet again at home, 1-0 to bounce back from that Toluca draw. Very scrappy game, this one. Looked like it was going to head to a 0-0 draw, but then a missed header at the far post from a Cruz Azul defender, and it was Milton Eguez, the young Bolivian, who we signed in yesterday's episode. He came up big at the far post, putting that away, and that was the defining goal to give us that 1-0 lead. You can see, had a little bit better of that game, so it was nice to get that goal right at the end to get back on track for this Liga MX second phase after winning the first one. But then we took on Atlas Guadalajara a few days later, and unfortunately for us, it was a 2-2 draw where we really blew a good chance for 3 points here. We got off to a really good start in this game. A corner in the 5th minute. Renan finds Solly and puts that into the bottom right corner for a 1-0 lead. And then at the 50-minute mark, it was a free kick that Barco got an end of from Renan to make it 2-0. But then about 9 minutes later, Garcia with a penalty, which he sends straight down the middle to make it 2-1. And then an injury time, a free kick from him. And Schneller just lets that go right through his hands. That's a really disappointing draw for us to be letting in there, considering how well up we were and the fact that both of their shots on target ended up in goals. It was in fact a different Garcia who got that last goal, H. Garcia instead of C. Garcia, but frustrating result that one. Really should have seen that out when we were 2-0 up at the hour mark, but let them back in it with a penalty and then a pretty sloppy bit of work from Schneller and goal to concede the free kick in injury time, and we drop points at home there. But off the back of that, we have bounced back a little bit, albeit against teams not as good as the likes of Toluca, Cruz Azul, and Atlas Guadalajara. First off, an away game against Mineros de Zacatecas, and we picked up a 1-0 win. Quite a similar type of game to the Cruz Azul, this one. Nunez making his way forward in the 80th minute, picks out Eguez, and he fires that past the keeper at the near post. He's proved quite clutch with some late goals already for us, has that young Bolivian, and that was the deciding factor coming off the bench for Gutierrez to make it 1-0. Would have been really harsh if we didn't win that game. We had a fair few shots, a lot on target, but it took until that one to get something in the back of the net, and we escaped there with a 1-0 win. And off the back of that, a little bit more comfortable with the rotation team, albeit when we took on Puebla and we picked up a 2-0 win away from home again. Late goals in both halves proving the difference for us here. In added time in the first half, Almaraz finding Solly and he makes it 1-0. And then late on in the second half, when we were just looking to see this game out, Garcia gets past his man down the left, fizzes a ball in for De Luna outside the box and gets his first goal for the club. And he's been around since we've got here, so it's taken him a fair while to get his first goal. He was our man of the match as well, was De Luna in the CDM role. But in the end, a solid 2-0 win, albeit we left it quite late in both halves to get those goals. So what that does mean for the second phase of Liga MX, as I said, not too sure how important this is going to be, but at the moment we are 2 points clear with a game in hand over most teams, so looking quite good at the moment. One of only 2 teams yet to lose, the other one being Deportivo Toluca, and we are putting ourselves in a good position for that competition to at least skip the preliminary round should we need to play the playoffs of this. But today, of course, we are into the CONCACAF Champions League, taking on Nashville, who, as you will remember, predicted to finish 25th in the MLS this season. It hasn't started yet, so that could be something in our favour. These guys are still in the midst of their pre-season while we are only just over halfway through our competitive football for the year. So we should definitely have match fitness on these guys, and hopefully that's something that we can use to our advantage, at least in the first league at their home ground and maybe even in the second league as well. But really, with the media prediction, this is a game that we really should be winning. So hopefully we can get the job done. But before we get into this game, of course, we did win the Copa MX last season. I've been waiting for that to kind of come in and absolutely throw our schedule into more disarray. But in Mexico, if you qualify for the Champions League, you don't play in the Copa MX. Maybe that's why we hit it a little bit easy in that competition, winning that one last season. But yeah, that is something that I have noticed since the second half of the season started. In fact, if we look at the Copa MX, you can see they are already at the semi-final. So we do not play in this competition. None of the teams in the CONCACAF Champions League do. So when we said earlier in the season we had a chance of winning 7 trophies, that's gone down to 6. And while we're at the club, hopefully it's only going to be 5, as hopefully we'll win this Champions League before we have to deal with the Liga MX second phase playoffs. But something to note there, the Copa MX, not for us this time around. And we also have a trip to the medical centre before today's game as well. We are missing a few players in one position in particular, and that is left wing. You can see Carvajal and Wellison both out for around the 2-week mark. Unfortunately, they're going to be unavailable probably for both legs today. There's a chance that one of them could sneak back in time to be a bench option for the second leg, but it's looking unlikely. So we are testing our left wing depth in today's episode, but against the team who are still going through their preseason, as we said. Hopefully that won't be too big an issue, but certainly missing a bit of quality with Carvajal and Wellison both out. Luz Montoya and Fernando Garcia both just coming back from injuries, though they are both available for today, and hopefully with no issues in this upcoming game for the second leg as well. But we will come back shortly, run you guys through our team sheet and the Nashville one if we recognise any players for this first leg of the CONCACAF first round in this Champions League from the Nissan Stadium in America. And here are the team sheets for this first leg in this CONCACAF Champions League. Nashville on the left at home. No names there I recognise there. Hernando Venegas isn't the same one we had when we were in Colombia, I'm pretty sure. So no one there that we recognise. In terms of us, we are full strength apart from Barco being suspended. So De Luna keeps his spot in the starting 11 with Garcia. Not quite right for a full 90 minutes. He is on the bench. Barco will be back for the second leg, though, all things going well, just suspended for this one. And we've got Gerardo Garcia starting on the left wing. Our third choice left winger with Nunez coming onto the bench. He's kind of covering the left wing as well. So we're really testing the depth in that position with those injuries to Carvajal and Wellison. But hopefully, as I said, against a team who might be a little bit rusty, still going through their pre-season, we can still get the result here over 2 legs. And Nashville are at home in the yellow and we are in the blue and black, and we'll see which team's kicking off. It is us playing left to right, and hopefully we can get off to a good start in our CONCACAF Champions League journey here at Monterrey. 4 minutes gone here and we have an early corner which Renan looks to put into the mixer. Puente, it looked like trying to get his head onto that, but Nashville do clear it away, albeit we do consolidate possession, and hopefully we can get back down the right end of the pitch, although we pass that back to Schneller and maybe look to spread out the Nashville defensive line here and try and create a few more gaps as we look to go forward now as Garcia is on the ball. He gets it out to Gutierrez, back to someone. The shot's blocked and Gutierrez picks up a bit of a lucky goal. That's very lucky, in fact. It was Jimenez who had the first shot there. It was blocked, but it fell perfectly for Gutierrez. Garcia just going a little bit lateral there, but he put a ball into Gutierrez. Jimenez with the shot blocked. It falls perfectly for Gutierrez. Beats the goalkeeper at his near post. And after 5 minutes, we go 1-0 up with a fair bit of luck, it has to be said. And now we have a throw-in shortly off the back of that. They do head it away to Nashville, but Alvarez with a ball finding Puente, and he beats the keeper at the near post as well. And in a couple of minutes, after 6 minutes in the game, a quick fire double, and we go 2-0 up. So it's all happening here. They dealt with this throw-in pretty comfortably, it looked like, but the ball falls to Alvarez, and that's a heck of an assist. First time just pumps that up to Puente in a lot of space, beats the goalkeeper at the near post, much the same as Gutierrez did, and very early on, we're in a great position, 2-0 up on the away leg. 17 minutes gone here. We have a free kick. We found Paulo at the far post, but he is offside. It did look like a highlight that started a little bit quickly to be something there. You can see just offside, but we are all over Nashville early, but it does remain 2-0 because that was an offside goal. 20 minutes gone here. We do have a goal kick, so having to play out from the back, but we've started this game off very well, and hopefully we can keep this up for the remainder of this first league, and then the pressure will be well and truly off us for the second league. But at the moment, looks like there might be a fair bit of difference because of that match sharpness that we do have as the game gets a little bit stally there. I did notice that there was no VAR in the prior decision made, so maybe we don't have VAR in the Champions League here in CONCACAF, but that was an attack which Nashville did cut out pretty comfortably. They get the ball back to Blanchard, but it was just a simple referee's decision for that prior offside, so maybe we don't have VAR here in CONCACAF, but that's a good ball put in there from Gutierrez. Puente with the shot, it's blocked, but we will earn ourselves another corner as we try and make it 3-0 early doors. Renan puts us in, it falls to Jimenez at the far post. Another pretty lucky goal, it has to be said. That's a few of them already for us, and we go 3-0 up only halfway through the first half, not even that. So we're in a really good position in this first round of the CONCACAF Champions League. It's been missed by a ton of people. Paulo for us, Montero for them. Jimenez is there at the far post, and we make it 3-0 at the 22-minute mark. And that is half-time. Pretty quiet second part of that first half, but we're in a great position here. 3-0 up, dominating this game entirely. Nashville only with the one shot, which wasn't on target. That must have been what the highlight which started our third goal came from, but we've looked pretty good, pretty clinical in front of goal and making the most of this Nashville team, who, as I said, might be a little bit rusty with this being their preseason. That definitely favours the Mexican teams by the looks of it here in North America, but we're in a great position. Things going very well, so we'll just tell the boys to keep doing what they're doing in the second half, and hopefully we can bag a few more away goals and put this well and truly beyond doubt going to the second league, as we will start the second half 3-0 up. Early highlight here in the second half, a throw-in for Nashville as they no doubt look to bounce back after their manager should have given them a rack up at halftime because they've not really been in this game at the moment. That was a really good chance there though for McCullough, I think it was, but the shot blocked. A good chance early doors for Nashville, but it remains 3-0. Throw in here for Monterrey in the 59th minute as we look to get another goal in the back of the net to really put this game beyond doubt in this tie, hopefully, as well as Montoya now is on the ball. And we look to play out from the back after the ball ends up there, and now Goodyear is making his way down the right, just loses position there briefly to Francis, but he boots it clear, and now Paulo looks to get something going forward for us again. But on the whole, a pretty good performance from us. Second half hasn't started off too well. Nashville certainly looking to try and get back in the game, although there's a nice ball for Puente. Garcia with the shot, and it just goes over the bar. A good chance for us there to make it 4, but Nashville is certainly up their game to start the second half, but nothing in the back of the net as of yet. As we have the corner, it is cleared away. DeLuna will look to get something going for us here perhaps. He plays that to Montoya. We just knock it about and see if anything comes from it. It doesn't, and it remains 3-0 after 63 minutes, and I think we are going to make a substitution here with Garcia on yellow hearts. We're going to try Nunez on that left wing, and we might also bring Clayton on for Almaraz. Almaraz is on a yellow card in continental football for some reason. Not too sure how that's happened, but we will just nurse him through this and try and get him to play as many minutes as we can, because of course we're in a pretty good position in this game at the moment, and we don't want any suspensions for the next tie if we can avoid them, where the teams might get a little bit stronger. So we'll just manage it a bit there and bring Clayton on for Almaraz, but we'll make those two substitutions in a pretty good spot, 3-0 up with 25 minutes to go in this first league. 71 minutes gone in Nashville with a throw. Jimenez tries to get the ball back for us there, and it might have been lucky that he missed the slide tackle. A good ball played forward there, but the shot straight at Schneller. So that's a few times they're going behind here in the second half. As I said, they're looking a bit more threatening and a bit more up for the second half, but luckily hasn't resulted in a goal yet, so we're still in a very good position as we head the corner away, and it remains 3-0, albeit it is Nashville with another throw, and they look to get back down their end of the paddock as we look to hold on to this 0 goals that would suit us quite nicely, although there's a poor pass, and Jimenez is able to tidy things up nicely. We make our way down the right, but he does lose possession there, and now Nashville are going to try and get us on the counter. Ferguson and Vidal knocking the ball about, although a poor pass there. And Clayton up to Jimenez again. And we look to build from the back and maybe try and make it 4 as the ball's played in behind for Puente. What can he do? Tries to beat the goalkeeper. I think that might have been going wide there, but he makes the save anyway just to make sure. And we will have a corner. We are dangerous from them as Paulo heads that just over the bar. And with 15 minutes to go, it remains 3-0. 76 minutes gone. We have another throw-in that's starting with a Nashville throw-in here. So they are certainly getting a few more highlights in the second half compared to the first, although it's a good cutout there from Clayton, and Gutierrez looks to make his way down the right-hand side as maybe, as I say again, we try and make it 4. It's across this block though. They do clear it long, but we will tidy things up at the back again through Paulo. He plays that back to Schneller, and we look to build right from the back here. Montoya on a yellow card, so another player we might have to man manage through the second leg, but that's a good ball there for Nunez. He gets on the end of it. Puente with a shot just wide. Good work from Nunez there to get the ball because it was a bit of a 50-50 pass, but the shot's wide and it remains 3-0 with 10 minutes to go. 90 minutes gone here. We have a late free kick. We found Paulo at the far post and he gets a goal as well, and that makes it 4-0. It took us a fair while to get a goal in that second half, but we have done it now from a free kick. We look to have the wood on these guys from set piece. The goalkeeper just ends up in no man's land there really, and our centre back is there at the far post. And right before full time, as we praise the boys, get their heads up a bit going into the last minute, we make it 4-0. We'll look to try and cling on here in this added time as Nashville certainly step things up in the second half of this game. The first half a little bit sloppy from them, it has to be said. They were a lot better in that second half, but in the end, a very good result for us here as we pick up a 4-0 win away from home. Very dominant performance. As I said, Nashville certainly got into things a bit more in that second half, but it was a good performance from us overall, and we're in a really good position going into the second leg now as we can manage some guys like Almaraz a bit better as they are on yellow cards continentally. So maybe Clayton might be starting the next game because of that, considering that we are in a very good position. But what we'll do is we'll come back shortly, show you guys the highlights of the Liga MX game we play in between now in the second league, and then we will be back for the second league with a good 4-0 lead at the Estadio BBVA. And we're back. We had a little bit of a difficult game here with the rotation team taking on Querétaro, who have been a pretty decent team here, sort of just below our level since we've come to Mexico. So with the rotation team, this looked like a bit of a banana skin game, but luckily for us, we did play quite well. In the 15th minute, we're down the right end of the field. Nunez getting tackled inside the box there, but Ayala then fizzes one in for Solly, who sweeps it home right in front of the keeper to make it 1-0. And then a few minutes before halftime, a free kick to the far post goes out to Avila, and Nunez gets his deflection on it. He claims the goal, which I'm pretty sure his back was to goal for that. So it's a bit of a poacher's goal that from our step-in left-wing replacement, usually an advanced playmaker for us backing up Renan, but with those left-wing injuries that we do have, he's had to slow in there. And we picked up a pretty good 2-0 win considering the quality of opposition. So we'll definitely take that with the rotation team. Querétaro played 5 at the back, but no one really got much going for them. Some pretty average ratings all around. And what that means for Liga MX is we are still 2 points clear with the game in hand. So no damage done for any teams there because of that win by us. And no one's caught us up either. So good result for us there to just keep that little gap at the top of Liga MX. In terms of the injuries, still going to be missing Welleson and Carvajal for this game. You can see Welleson, orange injury, hasn't quite recovered. So pretty much the same players available for us as it was in the first league. But we go into this home league with a nice 4-0 lead. So we should be going through. We'll make a few little changes just to make sure we're not missing any big players for the next round, but we'll come back shortly and run you guys through the team sheets for the second leg of the first round of this CONCACAF Champions League against Nashville. And here are the team sheets. I'm just going to have a quick look at Nashville on the right first, and it looks like they're pretty similar to the first league as you would expect with only 1 week in between games. For us, we have brought Clayton in for Almaraz because of that yellow card, as I suggested we would. Don't want any suspensions going into the second part of it. Montoya is also out with a suspension after he picked up a yellow card in the first league, so Abundis coming straight in for him. Barco is back from suspensions. That's one improvement we've made to this first choice 11, and apart from that, the same lineup which played in that first league. So hopefully we can get a similar result, if not a better one at home, albeit Nashville might be a bit better for that outing in the first league. So we'll see what happens as we play this game in front of our home fans. And Nashville are in a dark bluey black outfit this time by the looks of it, and we are kicking off in the white and blue, playing right to left as we try and build on this 4-0 advantage from the first league. 42 minutes gone and we have the first highlight of the second league. It is a throw-in to us, but it's been a boring game so far. But Clayton just outside the box here for Gutierrez. Hopefully we can get a decent shot off Garcia with a header. Hits the post and the clearance is a little bit sloppy, but for now, Nashville cling on. It is 0-0 as we approach half-time. And indeed it is half-time. That was the one highlight of the half. You saw it. Really boring half. Hopefully we can pick things up a bit more in the second half. You can see Nashville actually, in theory, a little bit more threatening than us because they've hit a shot on target. But yeah, we nearly got one there late, but a really boring half, it has to be said. We might make some changes here at half time. You can see Puente and Renan on pretty average ratings at the moment, so we might make the most of the chance to give those guys a rest, as we'll give the boys a bit of a rack up. We'll bring Solly on for Puente. He's not having a great game with that 6.4 rating. And we'll bring Nunez on for Renan. Nunez, of course, a bit more suited to the advanced playmaker role. So we'll make those changes and hopefully a more entertaining second half as Nashville kick it off, playing right to left, but still 4-0 down. 48 minutes gone. We have the ball just outside Nashville's box as we try and get something going in the second half, an early highlight. So that's looking a bit more promising than the first half was already. Barber to Garcia. What can he do? Has a shot more or less straight at the goalkeeper, but we do get a corner from it, which is good to see after an incredibly dull first half, albeit, as I said, with the score the way it is, that isn't terrible for us. But given this is the home league, it would be nice to get a good result here and keep our pretty good form since we've come to the club at home going. But that highlight does end and it still remains 0 on the day, 4-0 on aggregate. 58 minutes gone here. It is a goal kick to Nashville. They pump it deep. McNeil does get on the end of that, but Barco tidying things up, pumps one long, but Almeida to tidy things up. And both teams looking to get something going in this game because at the moment hasn't been up to much. That's a good cutout there from Clayton, albeit not under a lot of pressure. And we look to pump one forward to Solly. That's a good turn from him. What can he do? He hits it straight at Blanchard, though. It was a decent save, but it still remains 0 as we get to the hour mark. And we will make a substitution here. Gutierrez on an okay rating and a yellow heart. We'll see if Milton Egues can make a bit of difference. He's got us a few good late goals, as you would have seen prior to the first game, to give us some important points already since joining the club, the young 18-year-old Bolivian. So we'll make that substitution here. And that is all of them with a half hour to go. 0 on the day, but 4-0 to us on aggregate. 63 minutes gone here. Nashville, we're trying to get something going there, but we do cut it out. And Jimenez is now on the ball, just gets out to Barber and look to drive forward and get a goal in the second leg. Nice touch there from Solly. He set this up quite nicely, but his shot straight at Blanchard. We're creating a few more chances in the second half, but it does still remain 0. And now we do have a throw-in with about 23 minutes to go. Nashville well and truly out of this game now. Can't see them scoring 4 goals to equalise things. With 24 to go, another shot there from Nunez straight at Blanchard. And it does remain 0, although they do pump this long. And we missed the header. Venegas with a chance to get Nashville on the scoreboard, but his shot straight at the goalkeeper as well. It was Abundus with the missed header, but still 0 on the day. Free kick for Nunez here in the 85th minute as we try and break through Nashville in the second leg, but that again is straight at Blanchard. It looks like we might be heading for a dull 0 draw as they have the clearance. It goes straight to Clayton. We look to play out from the back and maybe get another chance here as Egues on the ball. Clayton trying to pick out Solly. He will. He fires one. This time it's wide. That's probably the best chance of the game, but it still remains 0 as we get closer to the 90-minute mark here in the second leg, as we tell the boys to just be a bit more expressive and go more direct to try and pinch a goal. 92 minutes gone here, and that is full time. The referee blows us. We're about to have a throw in. That second leg was pretty poor, it has to be said. Couldn't get a goal in the back of the net. We probably should have, according to XG. We had a pretty good chance there late for Solly, but wasn't a very good tie, that one. A little bit sloppy from us. Hopefully we can improve going into the next round. But on the whole, a good performance to win that tie 4-0, the first league, proving important. And we'll come back soon and let you guys know who we will be playing in the quarterfinals tomorrow of this CONCACAF Champions League. So luckily that first leg that we had was a good result, because the second wasn't good at home. It has to be said, a little bit worried about that performance, but we did the job in the first league, winning 4-0, and it has already been drawn with no draw to view it, so just getting the inbox item. We are taking on Mexican opposition in Club Necaxa, currently 16th in Liga MX, so really a team we should be beating over 2 legs, although we do have the first leg at home this time, which is something a little bit different to normal. And you can see there the winner of the tie is going to be playing Dorados or the Chicago Fire in the semi-finals. So we know our path now. We are taking on Mexican opposition in the quarterfinals, and from there in the semis, either Dorados, who we have a fair bit of experience with, or a team who we haven't played yet in the Chicago Fire, and they are a team who have been thereabouts towards the top of media predictions anyway for the MLS the last couple of years, as that job has come up a few times, just didn't quite feel right for us, but certainly a team that we need to respect. And in terms of the other side of the draw, Pumas are taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps, a team who, of course, who we beat in the Leagues Cup earlier this season. Another team we beat in the Leagues Cup earlier this season, LAFC, are taking on the Houston Dynamo, who I believe are the defending MLS champions. So that is how things look in terms of this CONCACAF Champions League, which we are looking to win at our first time of asking this season to complete this Hexagon challenge. But that will do it for today's episode. As I said, tomorrow we will come back for the quarterfinals. We've got a couple of Liga MX games before now and then, but not too many. And hopefully by then we should have Carvajal and or Wallason back available to solve that left wing semi-problem that we have at the moment. Garcia doing a decent job across those 2 legs, but with the quality of Carvajal in particular, that could definitely help us out in the quarterfinals, albeit against a team really struggling in our league at the moment in Club Necaxa. But if you did enjoy today's episode where we made our way through to those quarterfinals pretty comfortably, thanks to that 4-0 first league win before a really dull second league. Apologies for that second league, but we got the job done. If you did enjoy it, remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already, also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well, so you are kept up to date when a video drops. It is greatly appreciated. And until tomorrow, where we're taking on Club Necaxa in the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.